Whoa, this is strange, huh? This is the first year I have not been in Austin to film my yearly review. Meaning, unfortunately, I cannot do my usual funny intro like you all may be used to. You know, not much you can do.
Hello.
Yeah! Rhino! How did you find me?
I had you chipped.
What?
Nah, I'm kidding. I can smell you from miles away.
Ooh, what do I smell like?
Desperation.
How did you get here?
I spent my quarantine making a teleportation device.
Whoa. I made this desk.
Looks shitty.
Oh, yeah, I accidentally got some pen markings on it.
Hey,
Yeah?
I have a gift for you.
Oh. Oh. Because of the... Okay, yeah, thanks. So, what else have you been up to?
I got the vaccine.
What?
Okay, bye.
No, wait, can I get an extra? I'll have to wait then. Alrighty then, so we better jump on into this review because they've been getting increasingly longer every year, so I made a new guideline for myself that I'm going to pick 3 of the, like, I don't know, biggest, just like most influential or like exciting, just like 3 big ol' highlights from each month. And I also want to preface this video by saying, like, this year has obviously been incredibly dark. Some really bleak things have happened. It's been the pandemic. I've been spending most of my time here at home, like quarantining. There was a huge Black Lives Matter movement, and there have been so many deaths via COVID, and like a lot of stuff, like huge monumental things have happened this year, but I think everyone knows about them. They're kind of a given, like that's what's been going on in 2020, and I don't want this video to just be like doom and gloom, you know? So I'm gonna keep it on a positive note for the most part, and just talk about things that happened like kind of specifically in Anna's world, although obviously I also have been affected by bigger things going on just generally throughout the year and all these movements that have been happening, and like that has been very integrated in my life, obviously, as it has with everyone's. But I'm gonna be talking about things that you might not necessarily know, even though, and I say this every year, this video is more for me. It's not so much for you, it's more for me to look back. I've done this like 4 years in a row now, so it's kind of wild to see the changes throughout. But again, time management this year, so let's start. January. I started out 2020 on New Year's Eve working bottle service at the club I worked at, and now that I am thinking about it, it is such an appropriate way to start 2020 because it was also the evening where I found out that I would be losing my job along with the rest of the servers because of a management change. So this is also when a new job hunt began. At the beginning of 2020, I also invested in a gym membership, only for like 2 months to be honest, which like, hey, good looking out, like that's a little bit of psychic future Anna coming in. But I was going to the gym and working out like almost every day. Almost, like, okay, like 4 or 5 times a day, which is still like really good for me. I just don't work out that much usually. But I found a new incredibly cathartic activity of going to the gym at like 10 p.m. and going on the treadmill, putting my earbuds in, and just like speed walking for like 30 minutes and just listening to music. It was so zen. And then this month was also packed with friend hangout memories. Like packed! I got it all in at the beginning of the year. I had lunch with my childhood friend Michelle, who was visiting, who I haven't seen in like forever, and her boyfriend. I went and got boba with my friend Chris, who was visiting. I saw Cats with Arthur. Yes, that Cats. And a group of friends and I went to the Lumiere Awards on the invite of my pal Gustavo, where I got to take a picture in front of my future work uniform. February. In February, I had this awesome beach day with my friends Cami and Reed, where we went to the beach, and then we walked around this like outdoor shopping mall, and we got candy, and we got some food. It was such a lovely day, and it's just a little bookmark highlight memory in my brain from this year. On Valentine's Day, I got a haircut because I bathe in the drama and symbolism of it all. And then that night I got together with my friend Jasmine and we watched Toy Story and ate yummy food. It was a good time. And then finally I did a photo shoot with my friend Ben at the Museum of Dream Space, and those photos were so pretty, and I still have to edit so many of them. March. So in March, my best friend Carissa came to visit. We went to WeHo and did karaoke with her family. We went to Santa Monica Pier and had some lunch for her birthday, and then she invited me to be her maid of honor for her wedding! Ah! It's the first time I'm getting to be a maid of honor, and I'm so happy that I'm gonna get to have the opportunity to make her day just as magical and special as it could possibly be. I was also this month getting super caught up in the job hunt and getting stressed out, and this was when the pandemic was starting to begin. So I booked a getaway cabin for a few days, and I just spent that relaxing and journaling and just basically pushing a reset button in my mind. Which sounds bad, but it was really good. And like I said, a lot of this month was spent like looking, just job hunting, just interview after interview for bottle service or even like pizza joints or delivery services, things like that. And because the pandemic was just beginning, I was looking at jobs that would be kind of like long lasting because I didn't know how long this would be for, which was why I was looking at like food delivery jobs, because I was like, well, people are gonna be ordering in a lot. And I finally did get hired at Domino's. April. In April, I stopped working at Domino's, which was for the best. The pandemic got so much more serious, and so it I am grateful for getting the job, and I am grateful that the job ended. It was 100% for the best. One of the things I always struggle with when making these videos is if I want to include people who I get involved with but am not anymore. And I usually land on not saying anything just for their privacy. And because it's my private life too, you know what I mean? But sometimes their involvement in my life does make for some highlights of my months. So I guess I'm just gonna make that as a disclaimer. And while these memories still do mean a whole lot to me and I cherish them and they're still very much highlights and very real, just for privacy's sake, that's all I'm gonna say about it. And then this month was the frickin' month of Zoom. This is where the Zoom train went choo-choo and left the station at like 8,000 miles per hour. I had Zoom game nights with my friend Mike and his crew. I had a Zoom game night with Cammie and Reed. I had an Easter Zoom with the family. What else? A Zoom catch-up sesh with Gustavo, Noelle, Derek, Arthur, and Jasmine. It was Zoom City. Zoom train left, destination Zoom City.
May.
Sorry to be so coy in so many of these, but in May, all I can really say is that I took a step, I did something very exciting in my acting career that I can't really talk about. And I apologize for that, but again, this video mostly for me, you know? So, exciting acting step in May. It was also the month of DIY. I did indeed make this desk that I am currently sitting at. I know you can't see it, it's because the top is very messy and I'm a little embarrassed. Things have been absolutely chaos for the past 2 weeks, and so I need to clean up this tornado of a house that I'm currently in. I also made 2 different necklaces. When I want something, I get a picture of it in my head, and then like I'm not satisfied until I get that exact thing. So for all 3 of these things, I knew exactly what I wanted, but I couldn't find them anywhere, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make them myself. So I did. I just realized I think this is a little crooked, so I apologize for that. I'll also fix this tail. There, that's better, I think. It's hard to tell, sorry. Screen's far away. And this last one isn't gonna be something I don't think a lot of people will really care about or understand, but I spent weeks making this one kind of like fan art picture. One of my favorite D&D podcasts is called The Adventure Zone by the McAtee brothers. And the first time I listened to the balance arc and heard the characters described, I like naturally drew some connection to characters from Adventure Time. Maybe because the names are so similar, I don't know. But I love both of these things, and ever since I first listened to it, I'd wanted to do like a mashup of the two and create a fan art of every character from the Adventure Zone, or almost every character from the Adventure Zone, as a character from Adventure Time. I spent weeks making this picture, and gosh darn, I'm proud of it. June was like a refresh and renew month. I changed my skincare routine, I reorganized my closet, I cleaned out in the kitchen like my freezer, cabinets, and refrigerator, and I cleaned my freaking car. I also discovered a new activity that like I love. I still love this. I go to a nearby park, I've got my little picnic blanket, I spread that out in the field, I lay on it, pop my earbuds in, listen to some lo-fi, I journal, I meditate, I manifest. Oh, it is so refreshing and rejuvenating, and honestly, I recommend this activity. And it's a good, safe way to get out and get some fresh air during quarantine. And finally, I spent a lot of time working and editing my 3rd dad vlog, my 3rd and final dad vlog, which was tough because I didn't actually have the video footage, and so I had to like make my own video. Just go watch it. I worked so hard on it, and I like how it came out. I think it's still very entertaining. July. In July, I released my lip sync video to Everything I Wanted. I wanted to do it just because I was trying to work on my close-up acting, which I know sounds like so pretentious, but I just loved this song so much, and I loved all the meaning behind it, and I thought it would be the perfect song to get to practice acting out. Well, that sounds weird. Acting out the lyrics. Is that better? Anyway, I released that. I also did some volunteer Elsa meet and greets, if you will, over Zoom, because I was really feeling for the kids that like couldn't see their friends and had to do school via Zoom. But really, more than anything, I was feeling for the parents, because like, they've had to take on so much, and like, bless parents. I really wanted to do anything I could to just like take a load off their backs, even if it was for like 30 minutes. So I held a giveaway for low-income families where they could enter, and I would give away 5 Elsa play dates. And they were 30 minutes each. The kids were so adorable and so excited, and we would sing Let It Go, of course. I think I sang Let It Go for everyone. And they would like run and show me their favorite toys and stuff. It was so adorable. So that was a big highlight of the month, getting to take the smallest load off of their parents' backs for a bit and providing the kids with smiles and magic and entertainment. It was wonderful. August, like the whole month was spent setting up my stream. Like, this is almost everything I had to do. And you can pause it or something. I'm trying to do good time management on this video, so pause it if you need to, but this was my August. On a smaller note, I started hula hooping, which actually my dad got me into, because apparently he started hula hooping, like, for exercise. And I was like, what? I want to do that. So I bought a hula hoop. And I gotta say, that's pretty good cardio. I mostly did it for only like a month or two, and maybe I don't do it so much anymore, but maybe I'll jump back in. Maybe 2021 is the year of the hula hoop. Finally, I helped my papa with his art84 virtual exhibit, which I've posted about both on Instagram and TikTok, so I'm assuming if you follow me here, you probably also follow me on one of those. So I'm not gonna go too much in depth. Again, time management. I'm not gonna go too much in depth. Please look at the posts on my Instagram or TikTok, but I highly recommend you check it out. It features the artist Cornelius Carter. I want to read this because it's an exact quote, but it's an exhibit called Work in Progress that captures the struggle and glory of the African American experience, along with the artist's faith in the American dream of equality and opportunity for all. My dad worked really hard on it, the artist worked really hard on it, so please, I implore you, go check it out and take the virtual tour. September. So I technically started streaming at the very last little couple days of August, but in September it was my first full month of streaming. I also launched my Patreon. It was my first full month of doing the Patreon. So I just little pat on the back. It was a lot of work, and I finally got it all set up and running in September. I'm so happy to have gotten the community that I've already gotten, and it's a good time. Come join the fun if you haven't already. Twitch.tv/𝗠𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 week right now on Twitch. That may change, but right now, 5 days a week. You can get a lot of me. In September, I also booked the lead of a short film called Cycle, and I booked a role in a feature called City of Love. 2 bookings! And if you remember that Heather's Hamilton mashup parody music video I made called The Baddest Bitches, that got featured first on Broadway World's list of like top fan-made Heather's videos. So that was rad. Which also led to more cool acting stuff that I can't share. I'm sorry, okay? October. In October, I shot those 2 projects that I had booked, and I booked another project, an online commercial, and shot that too. I had some super fun streams this month since I had a birthday stream and a Halloween stream, and those were so much fun and themed, and we had guest appearance. It was so cute. And also on my birthday, I had a park and Starbucks day and journaling and whatnot. And I took, I'm sorry, you're gonna hate me, that previous like exciting acting thing, I took another step with that. I'm so sorry. I promise if it pans out in the future, I'll talk about what I'm talking about. I'll talk about what I'm talking about. But anyway, super fun stream. So happy with how they went down. And then finally, in October, I voted. And I hope you did too. That's democracy, baby. And I'm hyped for 2021. November. In November, this might sound like a small thing, but I did a 7-day Blogilates butt challenge, which sticks out to me not only because I've never been the type to exercise every single day. Like, that just ain't me. And when you're like sore 2 days after a huge workout, I never understood the mentality of like, oh, you should just keep working out. Just like push through the pain. I've never gotten that. I'm like, no, I'm sore. I don't want to work out again. But I pushed myself and I did the gosh darn thing, and now I kind of get that saying mentality because it was very cool. I would have that little voice in my head as I was doing it being like, I don't want to do this. But then I developed this cool little counter voice that was just like, well, we're doing it. And it actually legitimately did get easier every day. And so that was really cool. It wasn't just like a mental strength thing that I developed, but it was a physical strength thing too. I also took a chunk of time this month to completely reformat my Discord, which takes longer than you think. But I'm so happy I did that because now it's just like a way cooler place and it's more accessible and my ability to interact with people has just increased like tenfold. So it's so much fun. If you'd like to join my Discord, link below. And finally, although I technically released the video at the very beginning of December, I spent a good, basically the whole month working on a personal project, and that was a duet with Rissa to In His Eyes from Jekyll and Hyde. So in November I had to practice the song, recorded the vocals, ordered wardrobe and wig, altered the coat, styled the wig, recorded the video. I actually had to spend 2 days recording the video because the first day the lighting and whatnot just wasn't right, so I had to record a second day. Oh god, sorry if it's a good bit darker, it's because I planned this so poorly. I had to take time to upload all the footage and now I'm back, and what was I saying? Oh, I was talking about the video. Yeah, so I took 2 days to record the video and then I had to color grade and edit the whole thing and send off the music so that someone could balance our vocals because we recorded everything separately. So yeah. Oh, I feel like my time management isn't going well. December. In December, I had a couple more acting wins. I booked the lead in another short film and I had an audition. Like a couple years ago for a movie where I got pretty far in the casting process, and then this year I got another audition for the second movie, for the sequel. So I spent half a month trying to learn the Swedish accent that I had to learn to do the audition. And I was committed. I was listening to Swedish podcasts, took a bit of Swedish on Duolingo, and I even hired a coach to help me out for an hour with the sides. And in the end, I don't know how well I did. I think maybe I could convince an American listener, so that's good. But anyway, kind of cool that I got to audition for a large part in the sequel after having auditioned for a large part a couple years ago in the first one. That's just fun. I also this month was supposed to shoot my Wonder Woman cosplay that I've been working on. I've been working on it and it was supposed to be finished, and the shoot day came and I was assembling the last of it and I realized that there were parts missing that were never shipped to me. And a lot of the parts also fell off. And I decided to buy a whole new pair of shoes to repaint and put on and everything. So we're actually gonna have to shoot in January, but this month I was like putting the finishing touches on my costume. And I can't show you the whole costume right now because it's a little bit of a secret, but the full thing is up on my Patreon for the OG level end up. So if you want to see the epic cosplay in action, it's 98% finished cosplay, go to my Patreon. Also linked below. And then finally for Christmas this year, things looked a little different. Obviously, I couldn't fly home to see my whole family. So in place of that, me and my brother took a COVID test and then I drove like 5.5, 6 hours up to go see him for Christmas. And we had so much fun. We played like Pixel Tactics, we played Kemet, we played a game called Spirit Island, which is the first cooperative board game I think I've ever played. So much fun. We played Mario Kart Wii. We took a walk around the neighborhood. We made a lovely Christmas dinner. We Zoomed with my family and my extended family. It was such a good time, and I am so, so grateful that I got to spend my Christmas with him. And finally, we wrap it up with my top 2020 movies, TV shows, video games, and songs. Same disclaimer as always, these things did not necessarily come out in 2020, but they were what I consumed the most of in 2020, or what influenced me the most. I'm gonna scoot this way for these so that I can put them here. So my top song, second place goes to If the World Was Ending, because I was like obsessed. I discovered this right at the beginning of January and I was like obsessed. I was hooked. I listened to it on repeat. And then throughout the year, it kind of waned a little bit. I still love the song, but it just doesn't have as much of an impact as it had on me back when I discovered it. Still love it though, still recommend it. First place goes to Moral of the Story because I absolutely adore that song and it's a little more consistent. Like all throughout the year I have loved it. And I could still listen to it on repeat. Such a good song. My top movies of the year, second place goes to Battle Royale, which I saw for the very first time this year. It was so cool. Like I loved it. I felt like the first like 2/3 was a lot stronger than the last third. I was a tiny bit disappointed. It was just like all this potential and I felt a little bit let down by the ending portion. But still, the concept was rad, the execution was rad, and I loved it. First place goes to Middleditch and Schwartz, which is Ben Schwartz and Thomas Middleditch. They did an improv show, a two-person improv show. I'm very impressed by what they do. I think it's very funny, and the reason that this got first and not Battle Royale is just because of the replayability. Like, I want to show this one to other people. I don't mind watching it over and over to show to other people. Top TV shows, second place goes to The Midnight Gospel. A TikTok of a snippet of one of the parts of the last episodes broke my heart. So I was like, I gotta see what this is about. And the concept is kind of like, it's the audio from a podcast where this guy talks to guests about just like all about life, death, and philosophies, and different sections and meanings and whatnot. But then the animation that goes with it doesn't necessarily have to do with that. It's really hard to explain. I recommend watching the first episode, and that'll give you a good launching off point for if you want to watch it or not. First place goes to Schitt's Creek, which I wiped out this year. So funny. I love the characters so much. I think my favorite is Moira, just because of her wigs. A lot of people say you have to stick with it a bit because the first half of the first season is a little surface level, I guess, if you will, but then you really get attached to the characters and the story, and they develop the story so well and everything. And pretty much everyone who like continues watching it past that falls absolutely in love with it. Top video games. This year is a little different than other years because other years it's like, well, I haven't played a lot of games, I've mostly watched them. This year, I started streaming. I've played a lot of games. Again, might not have come out this year, influenced me this year. Second place goes to Phasmophobia. You can play with up to 4 people, and you are like a team of ghost hunters trying to find evidence in these haunted places of ghosts and like what type of ghost it is. You absolutely can die. It absolutely is horrifying. And actually the first part of my streams of that are up on my YouTube channel right now. So you can go watch me play it. First place goes to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, which people who watch my stream will know I really love. This game intrigued me so much that I was originally streaming 3 days a week, and I added 2 extra stream days just to play this game. This is the best little neatly wrapped summary I can provide. An elite group of high school students are lured via invitation to a prestigious school and then trapped in it by a mysterious teddy bear-esque being named Monokuma. The only way a student is allowed to leave is if they kill another student and aren't caught. So the whole game is a student is somehow murdered, you have to assess the crime scene, talk to people, try to piece it together, and then you have a class trial where you try to figure out who did it and prove it and whatnot. I love me a good murder mystery, and the concept is so cool! So me and a group of junior detectives who like to guest along with me play that Tuesdays and Thursdays as of right now. And if you want to watch the streams I've done on it, they are all located in the highlights of my Twitch channel. Y'all, we made it! Not just to the end of this video, but to the end of 2020. I'm gonna echo a sentiment that I made in my latest Instagram post, in that this year has obviously had a lot of ups and downs. But I have learned more about myself and grown and appreciated and gained new perspectives and been utterly grateful for every light-filled moment, so I'll count it as a win in my book. A hard year, certainly, but we made it. And I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of you. There are going to be hardships in 2021. Of course there are. There are every year. But it's important that we take the time now to reflect over what we learned this past year and what we did that was successful or not so successful, and why we take all of that knowledge to make a game plan for going into the next year. And to take a moment and appreciate all of the things you did this year, which is always why I recommend keeping track of it like I do month to month. Because you might not think that you got a lot done this year because you can't really remember it off the top of your head, but you did. You really did. Even small wins are wins, and it's so important to appreciate those wins. So friends, let's have a win-filled 2021. I'll see you there. I think we're probably already in it because I'm definitely gonna have to take a couple days to edit this. So hey, happy 2021! I'm terrified that this is like 30 minutes, so I'm gonna peace out now. But I love you all, and I'm so looking forward to this whole big year that we have ahead of us. Let's make the most of it. I'll hopefully get to spend a lot of time with y'all if you come on over to my Twitch. Take care of yourselves, stay safe and healthy, and I will see you soon.